Welcome to Past Life Stories. Hi, I'm Barb Angelo, and I'm sharing with you some of my most amazing past life regressions. These stories come from my many years as a past life regression therapist and are narrated by me. It's kind of like I'm reading you a bedtime story. Heads up though, some of these can be a little traumatic and even a bit graphic, so definitely not for little kids' ears. And listen closely to the first couple of minutes because you'll get some more background information and clues that will connect the person's past life to their present life. Names have been changed and some of the information, but I can assure you these stories are very real. And stick around till the end because I'll explain how you too can learn and heal from these sessions. If you'd like to know some more information about past lives and past life regression, please subscribe to my channel. But in the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Rebekah had driven over 4 hours to see me. She had come with her grandmother, the only one in her family who was supportive of her decision to seek a past life regression. She was also paying for the session. Rebekah was a 22-year-old college student, tall, with long brown hair, and a naturally pretty, fresh, scrubbed face. When I asked her reason for being there, she told me, "I've been reading about past life regression and thought it would maybe help me with my problem. Nothing else I've tried has." She then told me that she had a very embarrassing and specific fear that was controlling her life. I know this sounds really stupid, and I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I'm afraid of moths. I assured her I've met many people with many different fears. I mean really afraid. Like if I see a moth, I feel sick. A little while ago, there was one in my room flying around. I couldn't go in. Even after my dad went in and killed it, I slept on the couch that night. Rebekah also mentioned that she had off and on stomach issues that could be severe at times. Her family doctor had ordered tests, but nothing could be found that was causing the pains, so they were treating it as a form of IBS. I asked her more questions about her personal life. I'm pretty much a homebody. I really don't go out much. I get kind of anxious at parties, so I avoid them. I do have some close friends. They tease me sometimes about, the moth thing. I grew up having a lot of chores. My mom worked, so I had to make dinner most nights and take care of my brother. I'm doing really well at school. I've always been a good student. I've always studied really hard. I've never, had sex, she said, blushing. I've never had a boyfriend. I've never even been kissed. There was this guy that I liked and we were friends, but I just couldn't, even though part of me wanted to. I was afraid. I don't know why. It's like I didn't want him to touch me. I'm afraid I'll never meet someone or be with anyone. I'm afraid I'll always be alone. I asked her if maybe she was just not attracted to men. No, that's not it. I thought about that, but I'm not attracted to women in that way. And I am attracted to men. It's just like I'm afraid to get close. I don't know. We eventually began hypnosis, and Rebekah became still and quiet. As I guided her to a past life, the first scene unfolded and she began to speak. I'm standing in like an old-fashioned room. It's large. There's a lot of like big, heavy-looking furniture. It's kind of dark. There's these big, long drapes. They look like velvet. And a piano. I live with my parents. I think my father is well known in town. Yet he's very well respected. We're pretty wealthy, I think. I'm female. I'm dressed in very nice clothes. They're heavy, but very intricate. There's a lot of beading. My name is Margaret, but I like the name Maggie. Margaret is too formal. My parents think Maggie sounds too common. My hair is black. It's in that hairstyle. What's it called? A bob. I also feel like I'm kind of defiant. Like I want to break free of my parents' rules. I want to have fun. I have many suitors. There are a lot of men who wish to court me. Rebekah's voice took on a much more confident, even sophisticated tone. I see different men. My parents don't approve. They want me to settle down. They wish I was more respectable. I'm something of a playgirl, she said, with a touch of pride in her voice. Rebekah continued to describe the parties and social events she attended, and the men who were vying for her attention and her hand in marriage. Some of them aren't handsome enough, and some aren't wealthy enough, and some are no fun at all, she laughed. Her life sounded rather easy, with little responsibilities. As we moved ahead in that life, we learned that she had settled down with one man in particular. I'm married now. He's handsome and smart. He's a businessman. I do love him. She had a very nice home, with servants and maids who took care of the cleaning, the cooking, and her daily needs, helping her to dress, even to bathe. As I directed Rebekah to the next scene or event of importance, her tone suddenly shifted. I'm outside, it's dark. Feeling nervous. I don't know why. I asked why she was outside in the dark. Her breathing became heavier. I'm on the sidewalk. It's dark out and I think I'm waiting for someone. I asked who she was waiting for. I don't know. I don't feel like I really want to be here. I asked again who she was meeting. I think it's a man. I don't want to meet him, but I agreed to, and I'm feeling nervous. Oh no, Rebekah said suddenly. What's happening? I asked. A man, it's the man. It's like he just came out of the shadows, out of the bushes. I know him. He was one of my suitors. He's angry. I can't hear what he's saying, though. I instructed Rebekah to imagine she could turn up the volume and hear what he was saying. After a moment, she continued, "He's saying that I threw him away. I rejected him. He's so angry. I try to walk away. I'm getting scared now. I try to push past him, but he blocks me. He has a knife. He's holding a knife." I asked Rebekah what was happening now. "He's stabbing me." I assured her it was okay and she wouldn't feel anything. It was a memory. "He's running away. He stabbed me. He stabbed me in the stomach. I'm holding my stomach. There's blood all over my hands. I think I'm dying." I waited, holding my breath, knowing this was an important part of the regression, no matter how upsetting it seemed. I waited and finally asked, "What are you thinking of? What's happening as you die?" I'm lying on the ground on my back, looking up. I see the dark sky. There's some stars. And there's a street lamp, a light from the street lamp. There are moths flying around the street lamp. Moths, moths. As I instructed Maggie's spirit to leave her body, I asked her guides to heal her physical wounds. I then asked, "Do you have any regrets from that life as Maggie? Is there anything you wish you could have or should have done differently?" She hesitated for a moment. No regrets. I had a good life." I then asked Maggie if there was anything she wanted to say to Rebekah. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to be who you are. Live, love, enjoy your life.
Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you? Well, let's talk about some of the connections now. First, Rebekah's stomach pain. When you suffer a mortal wound like that, a lot of times it's the energy that also goes with it that you can bring into the next life. That man was very angry and viciously stabbed her. So let's talk about the moths. The obvious thing in all of this, and kind of the most shocking. I've seen this happen a lot of times with fears and phobias where there was a traumatic death, or maybe it's the last thing that you saw. Sometimes it's the last thing you say or even think or believe on your deathbed that will carry over until the next life. So think about Rebekah's fear of moths. Something's triggered when she sees one. And there's that utter fear. And the fear is, oh my gosh, a moth represents death. It represents pain. It represents how she died in that life, being murdered. And also the fact that Rebekah is holding back on her own life. She's kind of the opposite of what Maggie was. She doesn't date. She doesn't want to get close to men because, again, the fear of ultimately being murdered by one. She won't even attend parties. And she was that very responsible little girl. we protect ourselves in a way sometimes of doing the opposite because we don't want the same thing to happen to us. So if we're responsible, if we don't go to parties, we don't fully engage and have a good time, then we might not meet the same fate. So I have a question for you, and that is this. Are you holding back from fully participating in your own life? And if the answer is yes, I want you to think about what Maggie said. Live, love, and enjoy your life. Until next time, I'm Barb Angelo.